The car rumbled down Harbinger Lane. Dust flew up as the old house came into view. It was huge and ominous, with dark windows like vacant eyes. 10-year-old Billy shivered. "This place is creepy," he whispered to his sister Sarah. "Don't be scared," Sarah said, but her voice shook a little. Their parents had inherited the house from a distant relative. This Thanksgiving they decided to fix it up. Inside, the house was dark and musty. Cobwebs hung from every corner. The floorboards creaked with every step. Even though it was warm outside, a chill ran down Billy's spine. He felt like he was being watched. As evening approached, the family gathered in the dusty dining room. The table was set, but the flickering candlelight cast strange shadows on the walls. Billy couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Very wrong. The turkey glistened on the table, but no one felt much like eating. Every so often a cold draught would blow through the room, making the flames dance and casting eerie shadows on the walls. Billy could hear faint whispers coming from the empty hallway. "Did you hear that?" he whispered to Sarah. Sarah nodded, her eyes wide with fear. Their parents dismissed it as the wind, but Billy knew better. There was something else in the house with them, something unseen and angry. As the night wore on, the strange occurrences continued. A painting fell from the wall with a loud crash, and a vase of flowers toppled over, spilling water everywhere. Billy was convinced that something was trying to scare them away. But what? "I want to leave," Sarah whimpered, clutching their mother's arm. Billy wanted to leave too, but he knew his parents wouldn't listen. They were too busy trying to pretend that everything was normal. But nothing about this house was normal. After dinner, as darkness fell, the shadows in the house seemed to come alive. Billy could have sworn he saw a figure lurking in the hallway, its eyes glowing in the dark. He rubbed his eyes, but when he looked again, it was gone. He told Sarah what he had seen, but she didn't believe him. "You're just imagining things," she said. But even Sarah was starting to look scared. The whispers seemed to be getting louder, closer. Suddenly the lights flickered and went out, plunging the house into darkness. Screams filled the air as everyone stumbled around blindly. Billy felt a cold hand grab his arm and he screamed, his heart pounding in his chest. "Billy! Sarah!" Their father's voice boomed through the darkness. He was fumbling for his lighter. The flame sputtered to life, casting a faint glow on the terrified faces of his family. But there was no one else there. "Something touched me!" Billy cried, his voice trembling. His parents exchanged worried glances. They thought he was imagining things, but Billy knew better. He had felt something cold and evil. As his father went to check the fuse box, Billy noticed something strange. There was a faint scratching sound coming from the wall behind the grandfather clock. He pointed to the wall, his eyes wide with fear. "What is that?" Sarah whispered, her voice barely a whisper. Their father hesitated for a moment before grabbing a heavy candlestick holder and prying open the loose panelling. Billy and Sarah gasped in horror at what they saw. It was a small, dusty doll. But this was no ordinary doll. Its eyes were wide open, staring out at them with a look of pure evil, and clutched in its tiny hand was a piece of paper. A piece of paper with a single word scrawled on it in blood-red ink: "Run."